How would you like to make more sales without getting more clients? Sound good? It is so important that when we are running our home care business that we focus on these very important metrics and things that you can start doing right now to get more client conversions. And so I am so excited to welcome my mentor and true incredible friend, amazing supporter of me. I would not be where I am today without this incredible person. So please welcome the incredible Steve the Hurricane to talk about how you can increase your client conversion. So Steve, how can we start to increase our client conversions?
You know, Nick, and I say this all the time, right? That's a great question, right? And again, it's something that we hear every single day at Home Care Evolution because, people, they want to get more patients. They want to get more caregivers. I got to get more. But when people come to us, one of the very first things we do is take a look at what are the numbers that you already have coming in and what are your conversions? And not surprised on our part, but surprising to the client is more often than not, they're converting less than 20% of their inquiries, which means if they get 5 phone calls, 1 becomes a customer. If they get 5 leads on the internet, they get 10 leads on the internet, maybe 1 in 10 converts and becomes a customer. And that's because we're not answering the phones correctly. We're not jumping on the lead correctly. Sales processes do exist for a reason. As a matter of fact, I'm going to reference the Home Care Pulse report, the benchmark study, because every single year they give you all this data, and they actually talked about how agencies that do not have an inquiry training process and they're not tracking their inquiries do half of the revenue of the agencies that are. So if you're doing whatever you're doing, add 90% more if you start tracking your inquiries and you start having a process with it. And so that's the first thing you got to do. You got to have an inquiry process. You got to train your staff on it. You have to know how to properly answer the phone. You should have some kind of an inquiry sheet or an inquiry form that people are filling out digitally on your computer right in front of you. Certain things that you must have immediately. Something I train people on is how to, within the first 15 seconds, you already know the name of the person on the other end of the line, their phone number, and how they found out about you. That's super important. 1, 2, 3, name, phone number, how they found out about you, right? And it's real easy. Ring, ring, ring. Thank you for calling Home Care Evolution. This is Steve. How can I help you? Oh, my name is Nick and my mom fell and she's in the hospital and we're going to need help coming home. Great, Nick. I can definitely help you with that. First thing, you said your name was Nick. Now, Nick, phones drop all the time. What's your phone number in case it gets disconnected and I have to call you right back? Boom. All right. And you said your mom's in the hospital. Is that where you got the phone number to call us from? Oh no, it was somebody else who told you. Where was it again? Boom, boom, boom. Okay, great. How can I help you? Done. Just like that. Within 15 seconds, I got the phone number. I know because I need to know where that lead came from. If it was a direct referral, I have to go to the referral source and thank them for the referral and follow up on it, right? Your phone number, that's an obvious one. And people, sometimes they're hard. They don't want to just give you their phone number. I don't know you, I'm just calling. But when you say what I just said, with phones drop out all the time, who hasn't had a phone call drop, right? We all have, right? So it's real easy to be able to do that. And then you just want to basically get the feel for the customer. What's the situation? Tell me about it, right? How's mom walking? Is she going to physical therapy? Is mom incontinent, right? I need to know these things. Is mom transferring in and out of the bed or is somebody helping her? All right, someone is helping her. All right, is mom a big lady? Like how tall is she? How much does she weigh? These are all things I need to know because if they do decide to move forward with me, I have to make sure I can handle it, right? So by walking people through that, that's going to make them feel comfortable that yes, we can help. Then what you want to do is transition it where you have some bullet points. So if you have it on your computer screen or if you're using like an inquiry form or something like that, either way, it's totally fine. But whatever it is that you're doing, there should be some bullets on there that are the key points to communicate to an inquiry. Like, my company Care Choice back in the day that I used to own, we communicated that we were the employer of the people we send out. Not every company does that. That's important. So if there are employees, what does that mean? It means that they cover it under our bonding and our insurance. Bonding means if something's broken or missing in the home, we are responsible for that. Insurance means that the caregiver hurts your mother on accident, we cover your mother for that. And so it says bonding and insurance, but you notice how I explain that to you right now? That's what you do on the increase. So the person on the other end is like, oh, that's really, I never even thought of that. Okay, you guys must know what you're talking about. You're making the person on the other end feel comfortable. And then at the end of it, you touch on your prices, you touch on your hours and all of that stuff. And then the goal at the end of the inquiry call is to schedule an appointment. Do not try to sell on the phone unless it's urgent and they need to start tonight. Then you can start to do it. But if they don't need to start tonight or tomorrow morning, you need to schedule an appointment to go see this patient. All right. It's very, very important. Part of the reason why caregivers quit is because we didn't look at the house. So if you don't go out and take a look at that house before you're sending a caregiver in there, what if it's like a hoarding situation? That caregiver is going to walk in that house, look around, they'll stay that first shift when you walk out the door, and then they're going to get in their car, they're going to drive, and they're never going to come back because like, I'm not cleaning that house. And I don't blame the caregiver for that because that's above and beyond. That's not what she's supposed to do, right? But that could easily have been avoided had I gone out and pre-screened the client. So you really want to, especially if you are doing things that I talk about in other videos, like having nerd clients, right? The great need client. A great need client, this could be a bedbound patient. You don't want to just send a caregiver in there without pre-screening it. So the process should be answer the inquiry call or the internet lead, have a phone conversation, and the goal of the phone conversation, if they're qualified and they meet our target customer, schedule an appointment for an intake, a consultation, an assessment, whatever you want to call it. And that's when you go out and that's when you sell the customer on what their needs are and how your agency will best fit their needs to keep the person home and out of the hospital. That's the inquiry process in a nutshell.